Hi guys. Um, I'm gonna play an escape room because I don't know. I might. I should stay there. Anything? A quick video. I don't know. Let's see. That's okay. Okay. Yes. Oh wait, then. Yeah, that's it. Ooh, I'm lagging out. Let's try the next. Oh, yeah. Yes. No, so yes. No. Good hours. Not like good hours. Hours. Okay. Yep. Use the influence. Change. Where's my text? Song, we want the balance, slash now, okay. Yeah. Okay. Those are no anything to come. Okay. Okay, well. Fine. Okay. Let's try. My birthday's best time. Let's try to I'll kill myself. What about? Hmm. I feel okay. I think that is something. Oh, okay. Water there. That is oh, okay. Okay. So much blood. Okay. Bruh. Okay. I'm gonna just last minute. Oh my gosh. Basic confidence. Alright. I'm not feeling shit out there for that's Tuesday and then alright. Alright. You're not informed. Let's go. What's that? Pyros. That can't be perfect. Fast. Okay. Sticky piston, okay. Here we are. Mine's quite full, okay. Crap. No. Oh wait. This is the very good build. Yeah. Okay. Let's lose one. Give us the oh god. That's okay. What is it like? Let's click up off. I haven't hit stone. Do that. And then we'll go back. So that's a good one. No. No. We're gonna lose. Okay. has just like the story then. It's not like the puzzles. I can say something. Oh, so that was like this. Oh, oh, there it is. Oh, did they restock it? Just in pouch. No, they don't. Anyways, ready to. Don't open it. My Travis. Yeah. It's someone. Doesn't know. Too long. So annoying because okay. That's a bad guy. So keep my stuff. I forgot what that was. There it is. Marcos. What is it for in the sunrise? I wonder. It's not complicated. So make sure I look like I think this is really straightforward.
Ha.
Ridiculous. Issues, my God. Where's copper? I'm gonna play something harder tomorrow. This is ridiculous. Oh, cook got it. Oh shit. I'm soft dogged. No, alright. Every song. I know it's not stupid or something. I should just stay. Alright. Someone's oh, oh, easy it is now, I guess. Sorry. Oh, um, really bad at this engine. Um, what? I don't know how far that's taken. Oh, it's fine, is it? Look at this. I don't know, it's what a breakout sounds like. Bad game design. Just do that. Fuck it, not letting me. I'm cheering this. I think they made it like the first one we got pieces of cheering. Just I don't know. I'm not sure. When there's like any color and what's which one is it? Oh, can't open it. Actually, I do this one. This one's look at that. Patricia. Oh, that's what it's supposed to be. That's good. What? Like what? Start. So we resides. Power form. Baseball. Block. Like oh. That's what I was just trying. I meant today. Oops. Oh, yeah, this is safe now. Actually, fuck yeah, I'm going down. I can't get back down. Oops. I'm so good. message. No. It's right. Again. Alright. This is so dumb. And thanks for kids, so. Okay. That was. Oh my god. Oops. Enough. What are you doing? Oh. How did it take so much water damage to attack the movie? Yeah, that was so good. No, it's really soft box because it's really bad at the game. Enjoy Holocaust. Oh, I little kid. This that you pick anything. So please fine. What on? I guess with children who love. I don't think so. It's terrible things. I was just like I'm dead at time. It was great shit. And bossy playing the girl, we're not so very fine. There. No, that's not. No, goodness. Hmm. What is not getting it? How did you get it? I actually that good like this. Alright, pause on this. And then so and then some soul. That's it. This I can't hear the situation. I can hear the labels. No, I didn't want to. These are like these the colors of the things. It's about arrows, but not like the. Um, actually, I don't know. So, question more questions. Why can I break it? It's not really. What's this? 227. 2227 now. Hmm. What else? Okay. What else could tell you? Wait a minute. Cobwebs. Hmm. Okay. They're probably it's a big word or something. I'm watching a walk through fucking. No, there we are. This is the amount of letters in which no, it's not. Okay. That's so stupid. What it means? It's one of the random photos on the board. This. Alright. Videos looks like that. So one is it then students how the fuck okay I should try to make this right. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's I don't know if you want to do this. Uh, it's right, it's a bird and then it says it's having a bird. This is an eye. There is you know this. I don't like this thing. Ooh. To put it on, I think I should. Okay. I'm with it like that. Probably have it. I'm not don't kill them, no, I do I have. Um, alright. The book has red. Hmm. Reverse red. What? No. What? No, that's blue, that's yellow, that's pink. Red and yellow. And there should be a color missing. Oh, red. That's my vote. Let me just see this. Mm-hmm. If I'm activated. Buttons. What's it here? Well, actually, I have a plan. I should just put it on the campus. Spider's going through the final box. Should be bringing to a good flat chest. No, it's like, what? No, no. It's not, it's not. Okay. That's, why did I get this? No. Oh, alright. So, if I, oh, maybe it's an experimentation. Oh, it's good already. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Um, there it is. I put it around slash. So how does this weird over the location? Oops. Let's see if that's like that. Very nice. Nice to that one. Chicken, beans, make the commission here. Alright, so, oh, alright. Hold on. Alright, alright. So, we say, Oh, it's supposed to be an octopus. Yeah, that doesn't work again. Oh, egg option or something. Who did this? Was this dishes in the can provide something like that? Yellow guy. Oh, I did as he says. Let's go to the okay, I can soft I can get there and I can do something. I don't know, it's just a little bit happens. Maybe it happens sometimes there was a and there's like just in the academy. Alright, all right, okay. Let's do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Always. Okay, there's no different block anyway. We're going to the kitchen, that's right. Okay. Slow to the middle of this. What? There it is. That's all. EA. Okay. H. Lying out, okay. See. Alright. That. So, okay. Yeah. Pop. Watch. I can really find yes. is. How about I'm missing is black. Well, seems high. Let's go for let's. And the red. Alright. Good set. More like that. There it is. Okay. 561. Oops. Oh, still works. Yeah, open. That's very long, right? That's supposed to be. Let me see what happened. Is that Google Right 22? No, okay. That's enough. Sound point. I'm going Reddit this time. Okay. Here it is. It's too easy. Yeah, I mean, I did that. Use real life to about easy, very easy. Okay. Like is in trouble. But it's not those things are usually balanced at odds. But just uh, future with this like thing. But I haven't watched the video yet, so I haven't watched the video yet. You know, I consider it simple, so.
I trapped 8 of the smartest and
But uh, okay.
most experienced Minecraft.
Hello, and welcome to your worst nightmare.
Okay. Really good. Watch now. I don't think I've watched all of them, so probably would be able to maybe set that up. Uh, so when I find it now, golden. Uh, things. Yeah. God, big punctuation. No, actually, there it is. Oh, okay. Okay, this will be fun. 1.1.1. I watched the timeline against South Food without things around.
I'm trapped in Minecraft's hardest 3-person escape room, but luckily I've got help from 2 of the
Was the clearest installed for Hawaii. What's this? Yeah, it was. No. Okay. This should be enough. Next version is 1.4. There it is. But there that is. Oh, it's just
Splash. I'm Mr. Splash Man. I'll make it splash, man. Let's get to counting. How many? How many? Oh, that's only one die. How many can I get here? Looks like multiple. I don't know. Multiple, that might be 3. And that might be another 3. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh.
This
now. Okay.
game's
There's not enough. Okay, Minecraft. Escape room, Minecraft. Let's search for one I play.
This is the hardest escape room in Minecraft. It's almost impossible to complete, and I was challenged to beat it. Can I escape?
I've never seen this one before. What's this guy's just right? There it is. These yippies. Let's skip this one. Let's skip. Skip those. Yeah. Not down there. There it is. Thank you. And please video. Nice. There it is. Oh shit. It's 2023, what the fuck? Hmm. Alright. What's it? Oh, okay. Oh my god. I can't do this. Just look at something I haven't seen. What is it? I want to stop this stream because I'm doing nothing. Actually, I'm just not watching my YouTube. You know, the second one. Why not? I am not. I want to stop this talking because I'm doing nothing. Actually, I'm just not watching my YouTube. You know, the second one. Why not? Where is? This talking because I'm doing nothing. Okay, cool. I've seen this one. Why is it that good? Something finished. I go. Yeah, I'm gonna try this again. Okay. Oh, that's this. Lost. Live. Yep. Yeah. I imagine it's something. This is shorter than the rest. Nothing wrong. Oh. That's there it was. I don't know why I was I could use that. Oh, that's true. Where is it? There it is. Right now. I'll go first. I don't know, my birthday. If I die, South Awkward. That'd be perfect. What does it slide back? Oh wait, I can just break this. Anything up? Oh, right. Oh, that's something. Okay, that's not work. It was. No, this works. That we can. Fly back. That's right. We're trying, and I just snapping properly. Blue lemon. I'll run the future. It's not okay. I missed it, isn't it now? No. One star. This purpose. Let's see. Should I get rid of it? Probably there's an uncompetency test. That's which line. What's this? Let me try. I might break it. What is that? Oh, it is the void? No. Area block. Let's look over there. It's all there. What? That's clear, you know. Buried. Was it turns? Which in polish. What happens with? Maybe I'll watch the video about that. Wow, that was video. That's serious. We don't realize it's 2 years ago. I think. Is it? In 2 years, I think. That's 3 years now. Okay.
This is the hardest. When I first spawned into the room, I skimmed the book in the lectern and
That's something. What? Just it.
let's find out. When I first spawned into the room, I had no idea what to do with, so I decided to check the chest and was met with the most random selection. Already looked completely impossible, but just in case I missed something, I decided to check my crafting recipes. Nothing except orange dye. So I turned my attention to the honeycomb formation on the right side of the room. It looked
I can
pretty
make it orange
bland up
dye.
top, but the floor was covered with emeralds and a beacon. I began checking each of the little slots, and inside one of them was a furnace. The only thing I could smelt was the nether gold ore, and it made sense. I'd be losing my only block, but if I had to use the beacon, I would need a valuable to power it, and gold would do just the trick. For now though, I kept searching and found an item frame with seemingly nothing in it. So I kept going and found another one. This time, I noticed a trick. A brown stained glass pane that was totally hidden. Now I had 2 more blocks to pillar up with, but not even close to the amount I would need to get up. I continued to scour the honeycomb, but found nothing until this one block of glass. It just seemed like a normal black stained glass, and I didn't want to break it for no reason in case it was useful later. I broke my crafting table and chest,
thought it
and
was
some extra
taken,
blocks, and
I
actually found a hidden saddle, but that's not going to be helping me get out of here. I tried to see how many blocks I would need to pillar out, but I needed 2 blocks just to get up every end portal. This was impossible. Unless I used the beacon. If I could get jump boost, I would probably only need 1 block per end portal, or 6 blocks total, which means getting up is actually doable. But for that, I needed my gold. I needed to smelt my gold ore, obviously, but I didn't know what to use as fuel. If I used the chest or crafting table, I would be giving up another block, but did I even have any other options? I tried all the items in my inventory, and finally, the mangrove propagule fit. But after a quick search on the Minecraft wiki, I read it could only smelt half an item. A bit more trial and error later, I realized the cherry sapling could also only smelt half an item. Combining these 2 items made a lot more sense than smelting either the chest or the crafting table, so I decided to suck it up and get my gold. Now there was just one problem left. Where do I put my beacon? To actually activate beacons need a base and sky access. Just kidding, they can be mined by hand. My first idea was
Okay. This is as spectator. Okay, yeah. I'd be message of that. No. Not only that is 3 pixels. Okay. Oh. Back. So fast. Perfect. Alright. Right, okay. There it is. You can go with that shit out of them. And this one. Just like killing ourselves. No, don't die. Alright. That's it. Come on, I can't position it. That's fair enough. Alright. Alright, we'll watch the video. Fuck it.
To put it under the glass, hoping it was meant to obscure the exit, but nothing. It looked like every block was covered by blackstone, and then it clicked. It looks like this blackstone serves no purpose, but the truth is it has to be there. Beacons can shine through one non-transparent block, bedrock. That's why they work in the nether, so I figured there was probably one block in the grid that wasn't covered by blackstone and was just regular bedrock that the beacon could shine through. So I searched through the holes in the honeycomb, and there it was, bedrock. Now I could use my jump boost to climb the end pillars, but for that I still needed 2 blocks. I was stuck again. So I turned my attention to the one thing I hadn't considered yet, the glass. Because I couldn't figure out any use for it, I just decided to break it and got a carpet. On its own, this wouldn't be very useful, but if I had something to place it on, this carpet could become a full block. I tried searching outside the room with F5 to see if there was a hidden block or anything I could use, and then I found something. A single protruding piece of bedrock. This told me
Alright. There's a way for that, right? I'm pretty sure. There it is. Nerd. Even I can't see this. I just,
absolutely nothing except for this.
what are you seeing? It's schizoid. I just don't see it. Oh, it is. There's nothing from it.
Suspicious sand and gravel might actually have a use. And finally, after a lot of searching, something caught my eye. The tags for suspicious sand. I could plant certain blocks on this. If I
No, I think I fucked up. Okay. That should be 1, 2. Oh. There it is. Okay. Back to survival. But this is what's happening. Now,
I could place bamboo and dead bushes, maybe I could place my sugarcane too. So I tried it and it worked. There must have been some water in the wall where the bedrock block was. So I put my carpet on my sugarcane and was still a block short from reaching the top, but this time I knew what I had to do. But I had to be
oops. Okay. Why can't I hit the chunks? How weird. Stupid.
fast. I jumped down, grabbed my beacon, and sprinted for the jumps. Good thing I had a backup of the world. And there we go. I entered room 2 to find a panda, a nether port thing I had a backup of the world. And there we go. I entered—
Alright. So guys. Okay. It's totally possible. Oh crap. Oh. Oh my. Alright. Natural page. Good. And jumpers. Cheers. Okay. Oh. I was not that well. Let's make sure this was up. And close the clapper now. Send downwards. I like that. So touching. This is not being like me, so it's a risky. Not working. No. Nice. Gunpowder. Supplies. July. Should can. This is it. Yeah, we're back to the okay. Oh, I can see. How long can I wait? There is chance to survive. Oh my goodness. Yeah. All session ago. So, it's super. Maybe. This is. I sure are. So this is so that Jack is controlling that. Makes sense. Start lagging out as soon as I enter in another. Oh. Weird. It's good. Yeah. That's it. I guess I'm so sure. Nice. It's so July. I can try. Something about it. It's like only 2 pieces of draw, that's not absurd. Keep trying to try. No, because it's oh wait. Oh, shit. Oops. Oops. Oh no. What the fuck? No. Saddle. What? What was a soft lock anyways? Anyways. Oh wait. Wait for him to sit down. Sit down, buddy. Close your eye, I guess. Actually, just ate it. The cooking thing. Hey, badass. Oh, I just killed him. I got no levels. I didn't even watch the video. Oopsie, this happens again. You forget it. Ugh.
Go. I entered room 2 to didn't get that far yet, so I decided to do the obvious thing and continue exploring by going into the nether. Inside, I was met with potted bamboo, a crafting table deep into the wall, suspicious gravel near the portal, and 2 hoppers. One with a piece of paper telling you to subscribe, which you should totally do, and another with 2 more bamboo, gunpowder, a pottery sherd, and a silk touch book. I now had a ton of items, but there didn't seem to be any exit to this room. Previously though, I had noticed what looked like a secret passage behind the hopper, so I turned my attention to trying to get across, and after a bit of searching, I saw exactly what I was looking for: barriers. There was a trail of barriers creating a parkour to get across the lava, so after a few easy jumps, I got 2 bamboo and a camel. This was honestly even more confusing than before. Now I had all these random items but no goal and nothing in common. Not to mention there was still a panda in the room with me. But reaching the end did give me one lead: the anvils. If I could find a way to get silk touch on my axe, I could collect the leaves in the frame of the nether portal. I didn't know if I could do anything with that leaf, but at least give me a goal to work towards. But now the question was, how do I get levels? I checked the nether again and found nothing. I could break the crafting table, but was pretty sure that would get me nowhere. I could only craft a stick with my bamboo, but that wouldn't unlock anything useful either. I was at a total dead end until I remembered a trick. Because of how nether portals relate to blocks in the overworld, if you shift on the edge of a portal, you can actually appear in a different portal in the overworld. So I did on both edges in the nether, and nothing. It was the same room both times. Same panda, same hopper, same everything. Dead end again. Not only was I stuck, there wasn't even an exit I had to reach. I was about to give up. I was going insane. I was just playing around with the panda. I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't making any progress. Until something caught my eye. The platform. When I was losing my mind earlier, I made a joke about just pillaring to the finish platform off in the distance. There's actually not even an exit. What do I even do? I can't do anything. I can climb to the finish. That's like right there. That platform was now seemingly further away. I was in a different spot than last time, but in the same room, and then it clicked. There were 2 different portals after all, but both of them led to identical rooms. It looks like I'm in the same room, but checking the coordinates confirmed it. I was entering 2 different rooms by shifting on.
Oops. That's like when I killed Gerard again. Oh my god. Terrible, terrible day. Terrible, terrible day. Take me out of these stairs. Um, what? Okay. Oh, okay. Such it. We're gonna go to the other room, okay? Because I'm done. Come on, Gerard. We got this. Okay, Gerard from that thing.
On either edge of the nether portal, they just looked exactly the same. This was perfect. The first thing it meant was I had another hopper I could parkour to, and inside I found 2 bamboo and a bottle of enchanting, and this time, a secret passage behind it. Thankfully, after all the time doing nothing, I'd already figured out how I was going to crawl in. In the previous escape room, I had this.
Already killed him. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Then spectator mode. Survival. Sorry though. Maybe there it is. Oh. Here it is. He's off blocking. Come on, buddy. Please stay out of the way. I want you to try. Wait. What's the guy doing? That's fine. What? I thought I did try that, it's just that I didn't understand the mechanics all that well. No. My bad, Sherrod. No, it's just... Alright, let's go. Cowboy. How do I make you go down? Yeah. You just don't sit on your own for no reason, okay. Sit down. Okay, good. There. I can't move you? That's so stupid. Come on.
Mounted a donkey to get through a gap, and I could do the same thing here with my camel behind it. Thankfully, after all the time doing nothing, I'd already figured out how I was going to crawl in. Boo. And this time, I knew I had mounted a donkey to get through a gap, and I could do the same thing here with my camel. And after entering crawl space, I found another hopper with more XP and bamboo.
Alright,
This time,
that's how you do it. Couldn't go on mission once that long. Wow.
what I had to do. I had to get levels to get silk touch to my axe, and the only way to get levels at this point was blood. So I killed my camel, took both my pandas to the nether, bred them, killed their child.
Yeah, man. Gerard's just if you're alive. Well, how do I set this bag? Okay, back to survival. Yeah. What's the pound one? Watch them. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Do something by Charlie. Towards us, sure. Sure, do something and just make you graphic an ass off. Yeah. I'm gonna breathe. There's a break this in question again. It's gonna be alright. Do something. Breathe.
To get silk touch from my axe, and the only way to get levels at this point was blood. So I killed my camel, took both my pandas to the nether, read them, killed their child, and with a hidden hopper behind my crafting table, finally got enough levels to get silk touch on my axe. I turned my remaining bamboo into a bamboo block and then 2 planks, and with the new axe, I mined the leaves in the portal corners. Crafting table, finally got enough levels to get silk touch on my axe. More XP and bamboo, and this time I knew what I had to do. I had to get levels to get silk touch from my axe, and the only way to get levels at this point was blood. So I killed my camel, took both my pandas to the nether, read them, killed their child, and with a hidden hopper behind my crafting table, finally got
Maybe that braid is not there either. Breathe, all my days. Oh my days, fucking badasses. Oh my days, Gerard.
got enough levels to get silk touch on my axe. I turned my remaining bamboo into a bamboo block and then 2 planks. And with the new axe, I mined the leaves in the portal corners, and I was free. But wait, because
You're not doing this shit well. Nah. Get out of it. What the fuck do you mean no? Oh my god. Oh, I forgot. And that was it. Bad at this. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Oh fuck. Dumbass, that's insane. Oh my goodness. Breathe. I'm just like torturing these guys. I'm so sorry, y'all. This one gets roots. That fucking right. You know. It's not good. I'm so done. I got nothing. Shit. I see that you guys allow. Yeah, let's really carry on. Now, no, yeah, since before this time. Okay. Hmm. How many powers is this thing? Hmm. My soft pocket, yeah. Wait, right? So what's it?
Because this is something never seen in Minecraft before for your color. And I'm gonna set off all of these firework rockets on the 4th world to crawl through the space. I tried reaching to the dispenser, but it was covered. I tried crawling with some pot shenanigans, but to no avail. So I decided to check underneath the glazed terracotta square. So after painfully mining almost every block, I found the
Alright. Usually make me do all this shit. What the hell? I wanna break the. Alright, what's that one then? Alright. Hmm. I'm still gone. Fireworks. What? No, I think it's messed up. It's so gone. It's so fucking gone. No. Oh wait. God, it's gone. Yeah, I just have all of this. Oh, How do I get that? Oh, yeah.
Barrel. Inside was an assortment of interesting items, but more worrying was the noise I heard. A dispenser click. And as I looked up, pitching rod or any way to grab it. I tried entering the small gap in the barrier using my door, but nothing seemed to be working. I was in panic. I was going to lose right here. This was really, really bad. I rechecked the barrel, nothing. The inventory, nothing. I couldn't block off the lava, so I was just forced to watch as my key to winning was lost. And then click. The item falling down was a light gray stained glass pane. A block that infamously looks invisible in your inventory and in containers. So to confirm my hunch, I ran back to the barrel, and right in the corner, there it was. Now it may not seem obvious how another pane is going to help me collect the first one, but I had an idea. Because of the way items group together, I could throw my glass pane into the hole.
Oh, so that's how. Okay. There it is. Soft rocking. Soft terribly looking. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Close enough that I could reach it, and close enough that it would group with the other one falling into the lava. Too weak of a throw, and the original glass pane would sink into lava, but if I aimed just a little too far, both would be lost forever. It had to be perfect. So I got in position and threw. Too close, another throw, and there it was. I had saved the glass pane and not lost the room. But I still had to figure out how to crawl. I was sure I had every item I needed now until I remembered something obvious, the barrel. So I broke it and checked under the observer below just to be safe. Now that I really had everything, I had to solve this puzzle. How do I crawl? I separated the things in my inventory into two groups.
Now. I think we would really like a video of this. We can do this. Well, we'll have to see. Soft item. What if I keep it this here?
Things that might be helpful and things that definitely weren't. I then kept messing around with different combinations of the blocks to see if something would click, and after a long time of trial and error, nothing seemed to be working. But then I had an idea. If I can place my door on top of my glass pane, I could close it on myself to lower my hitbox. The only problem, could I actually place a door on a pane? If I misplaced my glass pane and couldn't use the door, then chances are I would lose the room. So after a bit of deliberating, I booted up a creative world to test it out. It was impossible. Luckily, I had it lost, but I still couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do with these blocks. And after many, many minutes of thinking, I got it. I could use the glass pane's changing hitbox to get me in the crawl. I had a theory that if I placed a barrel and made my glass pane expand, it could get me to push in the crawl. So
How is that work?
I constructed a setup that would allow me to place the barrel in the right spot, and then I went for it. Nothing. I had messed it up. The barrel couldn't fit between me and the pot, and as a result, I just placed my glass pane for nothing. If this was a mistake, chances are I would lose the room right there on the spot. I had to find a way to make it work, and after a bit more messing around, it clicked. I had to use the door. By placing the door on the barrel and closing it on myself and the glass pane, I could get the perfect setup to thrust myself into crawl.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell is that? Alright.
And with a little trial, I had to use the door. By placing the
What is this sorcery? Now, how do they get the point? I'm fucking boy. Alright. Nope. No, alright. How do you even get up there?
chances are I would lose the room right there on the spot. I had to find a way to make it work, and after a bit more messing around, it clicked. I had to use the door. By placing the door on the barrel and closing it on myself and the glass pane, I could get the perfect setup to thrust myself.
Oh. Alright. Alright. How do you do that shit? What the fuck? Okay, I see how it is. Never. I'm not ready for this. Or is going to this already? Nice. Alright, but I messed up. No! It feels like it's, yeah, fuck you. Bullshit luck. There it is. Was I supposed to do that? I don't know if this is
Into crawl mode. In the little trial and error, I got to keep my barrel and doors well. After using the remaining blocks to fill up the mini tunnel, I was met with a
I'm so
giant
stupid.
maze.
I'm so stupid. It's fine. Wait for everything. Okay, probably. Oh. No, no, no. No, because well, I think I just found something right. It's like filling up a cup of water, you know. Eventually this overflow. I don't know, maybe. Oh wait. I can't place it down. What the fuck? Oh. Perfect. That is. Gerard again. Oh, Can't do the kosher arm. Is that what's up? Can't damage him. Sorry. Alright. This is a thing where I have to kill, you know, it's, he's not, no, if he damage him, no. Oh, so, what's this? No, did you have to kill through? No. Step on it. No, that's so bullshit. Oh, no. Alright. No fucking way. I was so stupid. Oh, the soft monster thing. There's no other way. Yeah, there this is. Alright. Oh, that was soft monster. No, it's the British. And it's totally possible. What? Yeah, okay. It's not soft. Alright. Um, I can't get outside. That's my dudes. Without a pickaxe. I don't think so, it's too long. Yeah. Now, how do I? Fucking hell. It's gone. Yeah. Okay, let me watch the video.
I couldn't start out round, I just used the pot with the fader. I had copper and a sea pickle. I was completely still forming how to get out. I decided to collect both the dragon egg and crafting table, but that didn't really help me with anything obvious. I had 3 blocks.
Okay.
And I needed 6. I had no crafting recipe, so I just continued to waltz around the room and think. I checked in the pool again, but to no avail. The one thing I had yet to collect was the copper block, but I couldn't mine it. But as I got out of the pool, I noticed something. Frog spawn in an invisible item frame, and then I got it.
Hey. Oh my days. Where is it? Oh, there's the biggest nice one. Your heart is supposed to be mine. Okay. Oops. Okay. Still this one. Slash it's dude 1000. No, it's such 100. Fuck it. That is stunning. Frog. I am not waiting for all that. Okay. There. Oh, there it is.
Hatch this frog spawn into frogs, which would then eat the magma cube and get me. Problem though, given the oxidized copper,
Right,
the first step,
again.
TNT would spend another couple minutes just thinking of a possible solution. It seemed like I was completely at a dead end, but TNT and it up in the perfect setup let me finally collect the copper. Did, and they ate the magma cube, and I got my frog light, and with a bit of clever design, since I couldn't sprint, I used the edge of the pool and all my newfound blocks that pillared my way up. This was the best power in order. In front of me was my frog light, and with a bit of clever design, since I couldn't sprint, I used the edge of the pool and 80 minutes of my life until these tadpoles grew up. But they did, and they ate the magma cube, and I got my frog light, and with a bit of clever design, since I couldn't sprint, I used the edge of the pool and all my newfound.
Alright. Yes. Now, apparently I'm not supposed to be in spring. And also, yeah. Yes. What? That. Yes. Yes. No. It's possible, okay. What is the reference? No. What is this? Fucking hell. I'm sorry, I'm not being one way. People like that good, but very bad. And I lose my game. Lions. I'm not so bad at Saturn either. For sure. Not good. I can still have a Saturn. This close. Oh god, it was worse than mine. Someone else who has cheese again. I can do all that practice. Oh, perfect. Nope, not perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Can I just stop that person? Let's take it. And we'll, yeah. Alright. We browse. Okay, we're gonna watch that again.
The random place, a totally different story. The only thing I could think to smell was a sea pickle, but that didn't seem to have any obvious uses. Not to mention, my fuel was only pressure plates. I checked the crafting table and noticed I could craft fireworks, and this actually made a lot of sense. If I had to find a way to kill myself, fall damage wouldn't work if I didn't have blocks, but fireworks would. But I didn't want to commit to that just yet. I kept looking around and turned my attention back to the repeater. Realistically, the only way I was going to power that was with my pressure plate. Nothing else I had gave off a redstone signal, but the question was now obvious. How on earth do I use my pressure plate from down here to power the repeater up there? Everything in this room just didn't add up. I returned to the crafting table and decided the fireworks were probably going to be the correct play. To get a firework do damage, I would need a firework star, and for that, die. But luckily, I had the perfect way to get some. I couldn't imagine I would need 2 pressure plates, so I used one of them as fuel and smelted.
That sounds aggravating. How does that work?
My sea pickle into lime dye, then crafted that into a firework star and into an explosive rocket. Now when I got
Okay,
like that,
that's
all I
not
need.
nice. I've never made on my head. Okay, we don't watch.
What he was a block for a roof, and I could explode myself just like that. But this completely ignored my issue from before. Where do I get a bed, and where do I get a block? I was back at square one with just some shabby fireworks. The only thing I could think to reach for was a repeater, but how would I power it? I needed a block, and then it hit me. I could craft a block. I could craft a pot. Now, normally you would need 4 sure.
Okay.
Which is why it didn't click with me earlier, but this time I saw the connection. I could use a brick and just make a pot with an empty face. So I used up my shards, and now I have something I can put the pressure plate on. But that being said, let's just say I did put my pot up there. How in the world would I place the pressure plate, much less activate it? I felt like I was making no progress at all, but then I got an idea. The pressure plate was really the only way I could power the repeater, and I couldn't power it from above. I had to power it from below. This might seem impossible, but I had a plan. But first, I would need to actually place the pressure plate. I placed the pot under the repeater and then jumped like an idiot for 5 minutes to try to place the pressure plate. The only way I could get it up there was placing it on the repeater, but for that I would need to crouch at the perfect millisecond, so I didn't just toggle the repeater. This genuinely felt impossible. I had to be missing something here. The only thing I had yet to figure out was the lava and the droppers. If I wanted to activate the pressure plate under the lava, I could use the lava itself to carry my item. Problem is, items burn. Well, all items except one, my axe. Netherite items don't burn in lava, so I could.
Oh, that's smart. Can't see up here. What the fuck? Right. Definitely FLD. Is that gone forever now? Oh, right there it is.
Toss in my axe and it would flow down the lava stream perfectly onto the pressure plate. Hopefully it would give me some block to use my pressure plate on. It did not. 2 gunpowder. This gave me nothing to help with the pressure plate, so I just kept going over and over until finally I got the placement down. By this point, I had already enough time to think to realize what I had to do next. I was going to power the pressure plate from below with fireworks. If I placed my firework below the pot, it would actually fly through it and activate the pressure plate from below. Well, I guess not if it was explosive. So I crafted up a regular firework batch and fired, and out popped a bed. Perfect. I crafted my final explosive firework stars using dye from porch flower, placed
Oh, it's gonna be creative, bro. It's gonna be creative. I'm done. I'm not doing this. It's tedious actually. Yeah. Yeah. Even better. What's that? And how does that happen?
the bed in the corner, placed the pot over my head, and let it rip. When I respawned, I was in the final room. If I could beat this from below, well, I guess not if it was explosive. So I crafted up a regular firework batch and fired, and out popped a bed. Perfect.
Oh, that's not. It was. What? Okay. Lock 101. Probably not. Rings. Yeah. Thumbs up. Like, so inside out. Space. So you're dragging. You're probably glitching. No, it's just a big. Rings. And let's see. So, focus. Scout. Thanks. Now, how the fuck do you know this this bullshit? And I was supposed to remove it. Listen. I'm really bullshit now as well. Okay.
I crafted my final explosive firework stars using dye from torch. Was insane. It had colored floors, hanging signs over you. I had to find a password and rename the paper into said password. Not a great start when I don't have an anvil nor any XP. That didn't last for long though, as I broke the decorated pots to find a barrel underneath one of them with bottles of enchanting. I was one step closer to being able to complete the task, but still had no semblance of a clue as to what the code would be. The trapdoors around the fossil in the center were very suspicious, so I flipped them up and eventually found another anvil with a piece of red glazed terracotta renamed Focus. This was very cryptic and didn't really help me all that much. I mean, this section of the room had a red terracotta flooring, but what did it mean focus? Focus on the armor? I had no clue. The note blocks were also very strange. They had cherry signs on top that were totally blank, and the note blocks themselves didn't really tell me anything. Interestingly though, they were all set to the same note, a B. Why? I couldn't tell you, but it was probably important.
Okay.
I just had no idea.
Alright,
The trapdoors
so-
on the potted plants answered at least one of my questions. Now I had a way to rename my paper once I found the code, but what was the actual code? I continued searching around the room and then accidentally right-clicked on one of the signs. Then I remembered something new that was in 1.20, sign editing, and moreover editing the back of a sign, and there I saw it, the word space over each of the note blocks. Note blocks set to the note B with the word space. B, space. It didn't make any sense. I turned my attention back to the armor. I thought there was maybe some secret message hidden in the trims. Certain ones did show up more than others, Vex, Snout, Wayfinder, but nothing that seemed significant. If the red terracotta was to be believed, there was more to this armor than I thought, but what? I was at a total loss again. Nothing seemed to lead me anywhere. I aimlessly tried some of the trims as my answer, but nothing worked. I was so close to giving up after almost 20 minutes of just searching and thinking. But then something caught my eye, the second armor set. This armor wasn't just dyed a lime green. Each armor had a very similar but slightly different shade of green with the same pattern of bees and just random numbers between them. This was huge. What if the
Alright. Alright, buddy. Alright. 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 So this one's okay.
point of the B2 note blocks and signs, but to tell me that B meant space, like a spacer between the numbers in some sort of code. The simplest option was letters of the alphabet, A being 1, B being 2, and so on. So slowly but surely, I wrote out the alphabet and began mapping each number in the armor's hex code, starting at the helmet to a letter and getting a code going. G, E, R, A, R, D. Gerard. And there I had it. I had 1. If you enjoyed the video, then please consider subscribing. Again, the world download is
I was okay. Not in spoiler, but like I was still reached. No, it makes sense. Oh, yeah. 07. Wait.
alphabet and began mapping each number in the armor's hex code, starting at the helmet.
You don't know what it means. Oh. Oh, 7A, B, C. Okay, that's how it works. A, B, C, G, E, A. Okay, that's an R. Okay, I'm gonna trust AR. Okay, that's an R. Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. What's that? Okay, new map. Another map, another map. I'm not satisfied how much I had to check that other room.
Lectern and then broke it to find a piece of moss in a glow item frame. I then turned around and opened the chest behind me. Inside was a jumble of some of the most random loot I had ever seen. Nothing stuck out to me at first, so I clicked on the items, broke the chest, and broke the crafting table. I checked the furnace on the side of the room, but it didn't provide me with anything. The exit I had to get to was 11 blocks away, and I didn't even have close to enough blocks. I then turned my attention to the final thing in the room, this opening. When I walked in, I immediately got blindness, so I quickly stepped out and noticed it faded away. For some reason, whenever I entered this
Okay, yes. 1.19.1. Alright.
Hey mom, out hiking today. Very important trail.
Next one. Actually, it's actually- I guess. No. Blah, blah, blah. Next one. Right. Welcome to the school bus. Everyone's housing the cultural hardship of the skilled and talent professional and users from Michigan State getting this one. Ooh. Yeah, fuck this. Happy song stop us. I don't care. Yeah, that's okay. Good path. Man, this is way too long. So this is a bit. Guys, fast. I like her. Nothing. Cool. Okay, let's here. Let's make some spoilers. You can dodge. That's all it. Alright. Can't break it. No, I think I'll break. Actually, yeah, I'll have to. Oops, sorry. What a good software. That's why I wish it software themselves. Like I care about a YouTuber, whatever they call me. Where the box everything. What? Alright, yeah, I just fuck myself. What fucks? What? Oh, yes. One, okay. Chords. When did you button? Oh. Hmm. What's happening? Alright, we're gonna watch that video again.
This area, I got permanent blindness until I got out. After searching across what I discovered to be a bit of exploring later, I found something else. A viewing lobby. Inside, I tried to use F5 app. Unsure of what to do though, I returned to the main room and labeled the block with the dripstone with my sign. Not close to enough. I began wandering to try to locate something that I may have missed, but found nothing. I was about to call based on 1.19 mechanics, meaning that the answer was probably something to do with the new 1.19 and 1.19.1 updates, and then it clicked. One new feature of the dripstone was its ability to add any way to make mud, but after taking a look at my items, I realized my path block could be turned into dirt. I also noticed I could craft my 2 moss. I was getting 2 blocks for 2 blocks, and even worse, it was irreversible. But then I realized that using a sign as the base, these 3 carpets could act as 3 whole blocks to pillar up with. The mud still hadn't turned into clay, and I began to question using F5 and Quake redstone. I doubted it was close enough to hear me from where I was, but knowing it existed would definitely help me out in the next room. Finally, the mud turned into clay, and after all that time of waiting, I had a pretty good idea of what to do with it. Smelting the clay block itself would only give terracotta, but if I smelted each individual clay ball, I could make bricks.
Alright. Alright, adding soft lock, okay. Alright. Oh, that's quick. It should be moving soft locks, but I'm not, you know. And there, fixing my soft lock. Okay, I'm gonna wash that again.
And with those bricks, make a brick block and stone cut it for 2 slabs. Make bricks. And with those bricks, make but if I smelted each individual clay ball, I could make bricks. And with those bricks, make a brick block and stone cut it for 2 slabs. Now the only issue was fuel. Chest, lectern, or crafting table. This was a difficult decision, but then I had the idea to test if I could smelt the clay on the campfire. However, this was a terrible mistake. Without thinking, I'd impulsively place the campfire down, and if this wasn't the right move, I would lose right there. To my surprise, it dropped soul soil. I had luckily made the right decision and turned half a block into a full block. But that still left the question of fuel. Since I didn't want to waste any of my precious blocks, it would be enough. But I searched the maze again. I still didn't want to waste any of my blocks, but with every second it seemed like I had to. I searched the maze again and broke the furnace, but found nothing. I had no clue what to do. But then, something crossed my mind. The suspicious stew. On the chance that this stew was jump boost, I could make it to the top with only half the blocks I needed. But what if it wasn't? I would be left with an empty bowl and be helpless. Wait a second. An empty bowl. If I drank the stew, I could use the bowls as fuel without gambling, and thankfully, it was
Kill the curse. Anyways. Okay, man. Fuck it, man. That's nice. Okay. I keep on talking, but it's fine. I'm not usually like it's hard again. Two. That's outrageous. It's better than one. Yes. Yeah, that is 2 blocks. Now.
was just weakness. With the extra fuel source, I got my brick slabs, and using the furnace as the first block and the lectern as 2, pillared my way out of the room. In room 2, I noticed a glazed terracotta.
So, am I missing something? Right.
And the lectern as 2. With the extra fuel source, I got my brick slabs, and using the furnace as the first block and the
Fuck this. Oh, please. Get me out of here. Cauldron. I am not wasting my time. 2 days. Ready? Obvious. Okay. Yeah. Base rod. I can break this.
The lectern has two pillared my way overhang with a honeycomb formation on the far right, glazed terracotta square to my left, and a weird overhang with a honeycomb formation on the far right. Immediately, I went to test where I thought the skulk sensor was and activated it. It did nothing though. It was definitely there, but it didn't seem to have any sort of purpose. But then I noticed something else. Lava particles. Dripping onto the block next to me were particles of lava, meaning there was a lava block right above this bedrock ceiling. I wasn't actually sure what it was useful for yet, so I marked it with a glow item frame and returned to the...
But that's okay.
rest of the room. Inside the furnace was a cauldron, and counting the blocks to the exit totaled to 7. And nothing at all in the honeycomb, but underneath the glazed terracotta I found a hopper with a blaze rod, mangrove roots, and a pointed dripstone, all of which I collected and raised my block total to about 2.5 out of 7. Still a good ways to go. Since I couldn't think of any other obvious clues besides breaking the furnace, which I was too scared to do, I began checking all the walls with F5. I caught a glimpse of the end platform, but what really caught my attention was this. A secret room with a pressure plate behind one of the walls. Somehow using these items, I had to phase through that wall, but none of the items seemed to be of any help. Maybe it was a glitch I didn't know about, or maybe that useless skulk sensor was opening a door behind me whenever I activated it. Bingo. Only a slight problem. The door closed. Fast. I tried running back and forth a few times, but no matter how quickly I thought I was sprinting, I couldn't make it. But then I had another idea. Skulk sensors detect any noise, so I didn't have to be the one making it. If I threw an item, maybe, just maybe, I would have enough time to make it to the opening. This time I did get closer, but still a no-go. Maybe I could make it if I was elevated? Just barely off. But after a few more tries, this happened. I almost had it, almost, however it still just wasn't enough. There had to be a better way. So I thought about any way I could use the items in my inventory to make a sound while I was already at the door, and then it clicked. Lava. When a dripstone fills a cauldron with lava or water, that makes a noise that a skulk sensor detects, and using this mechanism I can set up a filling station and wait by the door until the cauldron fills and the slit is opened. Inside the room, I found a hopper with 2 wheat and a chorus fruit, but now that everything was said and done, I still only had 1 block and 1 dripstone. Eating the chorus fruit could teleport me to the exit, but on the very likely chance I teleported literally anywhere else, I would probably completely fail the room. Thankfully, I remembered a trick from one of my previous escape rooms. If I smelted the chorus fruit,
Oops. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to. Okay. I'm so done. Nope. I messed up. Properly.
And combined it with the blaze rod, I would get 4 end rods. This seemed like the only move I could make, so I headed to the furnace, but quickly realized a problem. I had no fuel. If I used the blaze rod, I couldn't make the end rods. So then what? I tried right-clicking everything in my inventory into the furnace, and to my surprise, the mangrove roots went in. This was risky, since it would mean losing a block, but since it was my only fuel source...
Alright. Yeah. Now, I don't know how to get it. Okay, wait. I can watch it again.
And I would gain 4 end rods, it seemed like a worthy sacrifice. But again, I had only 4 blocks and I needed 7. Something was missing. I rechecked the honeycomb, which up until this point was completely useless, but found nothing in it. After a bit of thought, I tried to use the cauldron to set up a parkour to make it higher up. That also quickly achieved nothing. I then tried setting up a different parkour out and accidentally caught fire from the lava, but that actually gave me an idea. If I could light myself on fire, I could use the fire damage to boost me up an extra block each time I jumped, meaning I only needed half the required blocks, meaning I had enough. As I counted the blocks to set up the end rods though, I noticed something out of the corner of my eye, an item on the bedrock next to me. Frog spawn.
How the fuck is this guy seeing this shit?
In an invisible item frame. Now that the honeycomb mystery was solved, I spent an embarrassing amount of time fire jumping on the end rods, but finally, I made it up. But
Nice. Oh. True. Very true. Competition, I'm not doing it. Do you think I am? Okay. No way to finish. There's too much effort going, I'm sorry. Too hard again. Last rejection. Okay. Okay, it's never gonna break, I guess. Sure, he walked behind him and just goes, here's one point, like, right up there. Oops. Why I'm especially about the fuck? Alright, I'm back at.
Subscribes with public subscribe. My recent subscriber was Jose, and their average profile picture color was this brown one up here, which checks out with their actual channel. And now the first block of the house is placed. So subscribe to claim your own unique block in the house and help make the weirdest looking house ever. When it's at room 3, there was portal frames with a path underneath covered in trapdoors, and above that, a hopper. Now for a player, going between the covered in trapdoors, and above that, a hopper. Now for a player, going between the trapdoors would be impossible, but not for a pig. Using my carrot on a stick, I navigated the mini maze and got a trapdoor out of the hopper. I only need
I'm so fucking mind. Okay, let's go. I move so fast in my days.
3 blocks to reach the exit, but a trapdoor and a dripstone wouldn't cut it. The trapdoor was interesting though, because if I placed it on a wall, all I would need is a power source and I could jump my way up. So I investigated the only thing left in the room, the furnace. In front of the furnace was a little ditch which seemed to serve no purpose. Even worse, there was nothing I could smelt. Except maybe there was. Maybe the excessive amount of enchantments were to distract me from the fact I could smelt the golden armor for golden nuggets. However, not only would that not help me at all, I had no fuel to smelt with. I checked under the end portal frames, nothing. I was at a dead end, so I tried to think about it logically. Alright, let's think about this. I've got a furnace with nothing to use as fuel, and only this armor to smelt. So, a useless furnace, essentially. I got a pig, and this puzzle also kind of rubs me the wrong way. I feel like it's too easy. It's kind of a gimme. Like, this was in the previous escape room. Something is wrong. I mean, the only thing that I can do essentially is break the furnace, but what if I have to make... I can't make anything. That's the problem. I can't... Can you smell frog spawn? Can frog spawn be fuel? It can't. Oh, there's something... Oh, there's totally something behind the furnace. Yeah, look at that. There's bedrock... Oh, dude, there's totally something behind here. Okay, that makes me feel so much better about breaking this thing. Another furnace with wheat inside. I was in exactly the same position with only another wheat to my name. But just to double check, I F5'd out of the room again and noticed that the line of bedrock extended 1 block behind the second furnace. So with that being my only lead, I broke the furnace and nothing. Literally nothing. An air block. I was completely stuck. I tried using Gerard to ride my way into the hole, but that ended up proving impossible thanks to the ditch. I then tried to dismount Gerard into the hole, but that didn't work either. I was out of options. As a last resort, I began sorting the items in my inventory to see if there was a secret glass pane, but mainly to rule out anything I knew was completely useless. Discs, slime balls, frog spawn. But then I got an idea. In the previous room, the frog spawn was in an invisible item frame. What if the same trick was being pulled this time? What if there was a hidden item in an item frame somewhere? And I knew just the place it would be, the air block. And after lowering my FOV, I saw it. A single black stone button against the right wall, barely visible against the bedrock. Finally glad to have solved the puzzle, I eagerly punched the button out of the frame. But that was a terrible mistake. The button was in a position too far into the wall to collect. This was terrible. If I couldn't get it in 5 minutes, I would completely lose the escape room. Desperately, I tried to think of anything that could help me. I could use the iron trap door to try and push the button out, but not only does that not guarantee anything, I would lose the trap door. I could also place the trap door against the wall and ride Gerard in. Same problem though, I would lose the trap door. I scrambled my brain trying to think of anything that could help me. All the items I had seemed completely useless. I tried to think of ways I'd solved this dilemma in the past. Pushing blocks, fishing rods. Fishing rods? What if when I broke this carrot on a stake, it would turn into a fishing rod? It was my only hope. If it just broke, or worse, I couldn't break it in time, I would completely lose. I immediately hopped on Gerard and began spamming my right click button, until finally, I got it, and made my way out of the room. I tried to fish the
Right, you have to look like that. It's weird. You should break that one. She wanted texture, I guess. Soft lock. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Use a positive fishing rod now. Okay, buddy.
button and dripstone, but to no avail. And after the
Pissed off myself. Oh, there it is. But is it called?
And poor. Who do they think I am? If they think I'm not gonna spend 5 minutes breaking netherite just to keep a fishing rod, then they underestimate. Oh, this room was a giant maze, but after dropping down, I realized it was covered in barriers. On one corner, there was an exposed hatch of water, which I almost thought I got stuck in, and on the other corner was a group of pressure plates and a dispenser and a piston. I guess that once I completed the maze, it would dispense and push an item. The exit only needed a singular block to get up, but I had none. After breaking the sewer floor, it quickly dawned on me that this maze wasn't for me, and I was going to drown. Thankfully, I survived and realized what I had to do. Frog spawn. Since this process can take 10 minutes, while the frogs were hatching, I decided to figure out what item they were actually attracted to using a very sophisticated No, I just looked it up. That's payback for the netherite block. Oh, slime ball. Perfect.
How far was the second alphabet shifted relative to the first?
This is not just obvious, is it?
Oh my, that gave me a heart attack, dude. I was just watching a video. Sorry if it's loud, my fan is on. I was just watching a video that was so loud. I just got jump scared by frogs. And after nearly dying in real life, I quickly set off on my quest to lead the tadpole to the end before he grew up into a frog and couldn't fit through the gaps anymore. At the end, I received a carpet from the dispenser, and using this
I'm just okay. This is a different year, right? So, oh, okay, it's like that. There. It ends here. It's part here. Oh, there it is. That's what I said. Right. You should fix this here. Alright, Alright, guys, I'm not doing it. call him really everybody. Oh. Break sports prisoner in Delano. What is break? Because no one says his ass. No. I spoke out his silver and I get some answers and I can that way. I have like that passion around a lot. The entity is like this. Oh, it's not yet, I guess. Right. So let's take some days because 6 chat.
Sign made my way out. In room 5, I was greeted by a farm and yet another maze, but something that surprised me was that I could actually F5 out of this one. With this power, I quickly scanned through the entire maze and to my surprise, found absolutely nothing. I then searched the floor in first person, but also found nothing. The entire maze was completely empty, but then I realized something. The reason I could F5 in the first place, there were no barriers here. I wasn't sure if this was intentional or not, but I grabbed the dirt blocks from the farm, making sure to leave some just in case, and pillared out of the maze. And to my surprise, again, it worked. I was now on top of the maze and I could see all around me. Sadly, all the redstone was barriered off, however on the other edge of the room I did find something.
Right? Yeah, that's what I think it's podcast too much of it again. Strong. Yeah, okay. I'll check that out.
workshop. I snatched the crafting table and went back to the main room. I needed 8 blocks and I had only 5. Still not enough. Obviously, I was missing something. That's until I noticed it. The water bottle. The entire theme of this escape room was 1.19 after all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got it. I was like, wow, maybe one is the last one. Well, things down. I think you have to go this one. Miss it. Yeah. You know, it's just kind of like that. Alright, let me start that one. I just want to open. I don't like that. Understand. I think that's happening from. Yeah. Okay, I keep messing up. So,
And I could make 4, which could make me mud slabs. I was out. The bricks, which could make me mud slabs.
I'm supposed to use that. It's fine. Let's do this. Up, other side. Okay, I know what you're doing. Oh. Get to work. Go find my item. Oh, there it is. have an item bag. Couldn't like move back at all. Alright, there we go. And there it is. Advantage. Now, how the fuck do you skip that? Yeah, I guess.
Blue in prison, who would have guessed? The puzzle was pretty straightforward. I just gave the Allays whatever duplicate items I had, and the Rei did the rest. The next room had a singular diamond block in the center and an indented bedrock wall. My options were either to break the diamond block or do literally anything else. I went with the latter. I searched my inventory, but without an obvious exit, I wasn't even sure what I was meant to do. So I turned my attention to the only other thing in the room, the indent. I had the idea that maybe it was some sort of door I was meant to phase through, but I wasn't so confident. So I turned on Quake Pro and saw a golden pressure plate behind the wall. This did indeed seem like some sort of door, but how in the world was I supposed to get it open? Nothing in my inventory looked to be of any help, and I was scared to mind the diamond block for no reason. I turned on F3 and B to toggle hitboxes, and as I suspected, there was indeed something under the diamond block in an item frame. Perfect. Never mind. I also decided to check underneath the jukebox and actually found something. A bee nest with honey level 5. I collected the honey in my bottle and then broke the bee nest to find nothing. I didn't think that it did anything at first, but I then discovered I had unlocked a new recipe, sugar. While I had never even known this recipe existed, it still didn't help me phase through the bedrock, so I didn't craft it. I was completely stuck again. Well, when all else fails, I pulled out old reliable F5 and Quake Pro. And thankfully, I actually spotted something outside one of the walls of the room. A skull catalyst connected to an observer connected to a command block. If I could somehow trigger that skull catalyst, hopefully I would either get a helpful item or it would open the door for me. But what in my inventory could trigger it? Skull catalysts respond to death, and there wasn't anything on me I could kill. I thought about maybe killing the Allays, but considering they regenerate 2 hearts a second and fly around all the time, that didn't seem likely. I tried an item frame hoping that any entity would work, but to no avail. Other side didn't work either. But then I noticed something that might. Thorns. All the armor was enchanted with thorns 255. If I placed that on an armor stand, maybe I could punch it to die. This seemed like a 5. Something that any entity would work. Fly around all the time, that didn't seem likely. I tried an item frame hoping that any entity would work, but to no avail. Other side didn't work either. But then I noticed something that might. Thorns. Maybe I could punch it to die. This seemed like a pretty good idea until I realized something. I didn't know where my spawn was. Chances are I would respawn in room 3, so why would I die now? It seemed like I was out of options completely until this happened. The door opened. For some reason, I guess that killing an armor stand sets off a skull catalyst. Weird, but hey, the more you know. This room was unlike anything I had ever seen in an escape room. I was inside what seemed like a small campsite scene. There were lights, a tent, a
Oh. Okay. I don't think I was supposed to buy that. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to die multiple times. But it's still on the other thing. Right, so that's artificial musical strength. Okay, here it was. Secret voice connection. Oh, that's not. Just killing voices. Like, that might be very something. Okay. Okay. You guys look at the die over and over again. Oh, no, I messed up. Really bad. Exactly. This is fucking. There's torturing machines. That was error. Okay. Get out of the way, buddy. That's enough. Okay. Yeah, finally.
Car, a lake, a fire pit, and even a dangerous pit into a stone platform with a sign telling me not to jump unless I was experienced. I noticed a hopper and anvil behind me with a sign that told me to deposit a code. All uppercase, no spaces. Somehow, I had to find a code from this campsite. Inside a barrel, I found a pair of trousers labeled Peepaw's pants, but I still had no direction in mind to solve this room. I went around exploring, seeing if there was something hidden that wasn't obvious at first. All the walls looked like light blue concrete but were coated in a layer of barriers just like the ceiling. The roasting meat turned out to be a log, meaning I could now craft a few things, but I wasn't sure how that would help me find a code. But that's when it hit me. I could break anything. Literally everything in this room was a breakable block, except for the bedrock and barriers, but I could still get a ton of stuff from all around me. While exploring, I noticed a chest inside the car. I was beginning to lose hope, so this was perfect. Inside was a helmet named Peepaw's cap. In its lore section was a small story about a